talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
A viewer called us for help after being suspended from their job for calling 911. WBTV's Claire Kopsky explains.
For the past 6 years, Marshawn Brooks has been a mail carrier for the United States Postal Service in Charlotte.
I love my route. Even though it's a walking route, I walk about 8 or 9 miles a day, but I love it.
On November 20th, while out on her uptown route, she was forced to sit down.
I was having chest pains. I had a hard time breathing. So I sat in a mail truck for a few minutes to see if it went away, and then it kind of subsided. But then when I got back up in the mail truck to organize my mail to get out to do the next loop, it happened again.
She says she reached out to her managers using the postal scanner as she was taught in her training, letting them know that she needed medical attention.
In the text message, it included where I was at. I sat around, waited to see if someone from management would respond. No one responded.
After a few minutes, she called 911 and an ambulance took her to the hospital.
I'm gonna put my health before anything.
After nearly 6 hours in the ER, she was released. She took an Uber back to the mail station to check in because she still hadn't heard anything from her supervisors.
The supervisor was sitting at the desk and I was like, did you not all see my text message I sent through the scanner? Because I just got released from the hospital. She went to her computer and her eyes just started bulging like, oh my God. And she asked me, where's the postal vehicle? And I was like, it's the same location that I sent in a text message. I said, you know, this is ridiculous. I had a medical emergency and you all didn't do anything about it.
A few days later, after being cleared by her doctor, she went back to work and was told she was being suspended for abandoning her route.
I'm like, how did I abandon my route? I sent out the message, you all did not respond. I had a medical emergency.
She left that morning on leave without pay.
That's just totally just unfair, inhumane. No type of empathy, none whatsoever.
I reached out to USPS and they verified when a carrier is having a medical emergency while delivering mail, they are trained to seek medical attention immediately, which can be done by going to a nearby emergency room or calling 911. But that's what Brooks says that she did.
Oh, absolutely. They don't want to take no accountability, and I'm being penalized for it.
She says it's a reality that has her sitting at home during one of the busiest times of year for postal workers.
You see your carriers, we try to have a smile on our face, be happy, cordial, but deep down inside, us carriers is going through so much far as getting that mail out to you.
I've reached out to the United States Postal Service and they were responsive at first, but when I asked what carriers are expected to do with their postal trucks during a medical emergency, I received no response. I also did not receive a response when I asked why a mail carrier was being kept on leave without pay for a medical emergency. However, after we started asking questions to USPS, Brooks received a letter in the mail yesterday saying that she should report to work immediately. She's back at work today, but now on a mission to get paid for the month that she wasn't allowed to work. Kristen and Jamie.
Claire, thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. What in the blue hell is going on with our supervisors now? I said it in the video where the supervisors didn't come up to the front to deal with the clerks. Remember that? And I said they be in the back filing their nails or playing on the phone. Now, you got a carrier out there that had a medical emergency, and I sent it, there's probably about 15 of you that sent me that video and that information. Unreal that the supervisor, after 7 hours, I'm guessing, because the person said they sent it, they went to the hospital, then they took a Uber back to the plant, to the station, and the supervisor just looked at the message. Now, I know for a fact the messages do pop up on the screens. They pop up on the screens. Supervisors sit in the back and they typically deal with all the stuff that pops up on the screen. Now, that means that the message was definitely ignored. Quick to send you guys messages, but they ignored it or didn't look at it. So I'm gonna play two sides of the fence here, so I want y'all to follow me. It's disgusting how the supervisor was so occupied, and then when the shit hit the fan, one of the people that I wrote this morning stated that basically the supervisor did what they had to do in order to cover their ass because the carrier abandoned the route. Well, that's pretty disgusting because any carrier or anybody that works for the post office knows that if you're in a medical emergency, you're supposed to call 911. Notify your supervisor. Supervisor don't get back to you, you call 911. You can't really trust anybody nowadays because all of the deaths that have been happening within this year. You don't believe me? Look it up, Google it. So it's pretty disgusting. And I said it before that a lot of the supervisors need training in areas that are most proficient or efficient or effective to being human, basically the human factor, you know, the empathetic part. I said years ago that, you know, it's not their job to be empathetic, but at the same time, if you're interacting with people as a supervisor, it takes a psychological skill in order for you to interact with different types of personalities. And if you cannot interact with different types of personalities, you do not need to be a supervisor. You do not need to be in a supervisor role. You could be all skilled at everything you do, from numbers to managing, to, well, I can't even say managing, from numbers to scheduling to everything in between, to saving money. But if you have no human aspect to your managerial skills, then you do not need to be a manager. It is so many. If you got 100 supervisors nationwide or in a room, you might have five that actually have the full package. Now, nobody has a full package, but you might have 5 that have the full package. And that's a shame, because just like they train them to do everything else, they need to train them on how to handle emergencies. Because again, you're working with other human beings. There are gonna be emergencies. Very disgusting. And then they told the lady she was on a suspension without pay, so they LWOP'd her, leave without pay. And she had to go through that trauma. Very, very, very troubling, very disgusting. But now, from the flip side, one of my carriers that I work with said, yeah, there's always 3 sides to the story. And I said, well, do tell, my mans, do tell. And what he said was, suppose she's a problem child. I also said this in one of my videos a long time ago. Some people, not saying that this individual was, but suppose she was. There are problem children. I spoke about this not too long ago as well. If you have a reputation for coming up with things in order to get out of your route, because as all carriers know and CCAs know, that there's always the 1 or 2 or 3 carriers that tend never to finish their 8-hour route. They always got to pass off a piece to somebody else. Now, if you getting offended, it's probably you that does it. But a majority of you guys got to go and carry somebody else's route that can never finish their 8 hours or whatever the case is. If they're a continuous problem, after a while you huff and you puff and you keep talking about, you know, what was it, the boy who cried wolf? They're going to ignore you. You have built that stigma around you. Again, I'm not saying that the lady was. I'm just saying if that had been the case, that could be another reason. Now, again, that's no reason for the management to dismiss you. But every one of you that work at the post office know that there's a problem child. They're always, we call them problem childs. That they always got an issue. They always got an issue. Oh, my car didn't start today. Oh, my daughter's sick. There's always that one person that comes in every day that has an issue. Oh, I can't finish doing my work because of this. Every day they always got a problem. So after a while, management identifies who they are very quickly. And if you're one of those people, look to be ignored Because when you run into a real situation, then you stuck. You like, wait, man, I really have an issue this time. And then you're in a situation like that lady. For the 15th time, I'm not saying that that was the case with the lady, but the other carrier did point that out to me. He was like, that could be the case. So again, playing devil's advocate on both sides. If from a managerial standpoint, again, not the right thing to do, because every emergency should be dealt with. But from a carrier's perspective, which I'm not either, if I have a medical emergency and I know that the supervisors that, well, they apparently ain't at the window protecting their clerks from them auditors, and they're in the back, they sit on the phone and they deal with the customers, most of them, they could take a couple, and they're staring at a screen. They're staring at a screen all day. They could see if somebody's writing them, and she said when you send one of those messages, it pops up on everybody's screen. Majority of the time, they'll think, again, this is about passing the buck. Oh, well, you deal with it, you deal with it, you deal with it. But from the reaction that she said she got from the supervisor, one or two things. Oh, I didn't see, oh my God, I can't believe it. And her reaction was, well, where's the mail truck? Where's the mail truck? Buck that mail, bruh. What you talking about with a mail truck? What about my life? Y'all crazy. See, stuff like that. And if it was a healthy person and you said that to a healthy person, they turn around and just mush you like, yo, how dare you disrespect my human, me? Why would you even say that? The mail gonna get delivered eventually. But what about my life? I don't know. There's so much to unpack with this. And if you didn't see it, a majority of you guys probably did. But you know, I keep this forum open for you guys to chop it up, whether you agree or disagree. Be respectful. Be respectful. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. That's another thing. There's people in here that try to force me to believe their opinion. I'm not trying to force you to believe my opinion. I'm just passing the news. You're entitled to your own opinion. That's what makes this country great. Everybody's like, well, it's freedom of speech. You can do what you want to do. Jay, you're wrong. Whoa, slow down. How am I wrong? Because I spoke about it? Isn't that freedom of speech? Touch your nose. Pow. Think about it. You can't tell me what to say or what not to say. And you talking about there's freedom of speech. You can't say this about them. It's kind of an oxymoron. It's like an elevated subway. Like freezer burn. Huh? Like the Civil War. Really? But forget all about all that. Y'all probably sitting there like, damn, Jay, you looking fresh. And I'm like, yes, I am, with my reflective material. This was gifted to me today, the reflective hat. Yes. Ooh, and no, it's a fitted trucker cap. Yes, it is. Oh, but I got the best one for you because I'm covering my name up over here. But let's take a look at the back, baby. Let's see if, oh, can y'all see it? Can y'all see it? Ooh, she did it for me. But here's the best one. Here's the best one. Here's the best one. This is what we need to do at the post office right here. Right here. And these shirts are exclusive. Boom. Boom. Ooh. Ooh, y'all like it's just the USPS shirt. No. Peep game. Change the culture. Yes. Go down and check out Tina. She custom makes your gear for you. Y'all see the gear. Jay don't play with the gear. I mean, reflective material. You probably can't tell, but this is reflective material. It does have my name on it, so I can't really show all of that. But I mean, the sleeve, y'all saw the sleeve? The sleeve make Jay look taller. Makes Jay look taller. If anybody knows about Jay, y'all know that I'm not that tall. Go into the video description, hit her up, get this lady some work to do. All right, this makes me look taller. Yeah, no, change the culture. At the end of the day, change the culture. That's every one of you. USPS, change the culture. Get yours. Hit her up, JH. And don't be trying to bite off my hat. I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.